What time is it?
It's like noon. Look, the party was straight and everything, but now I gotta clean up all this shit. I mean, it's like, I know y'all, but I don't know y'all, you know? I mean, we cool, but we ain't cool.
Where's Alfred?
Who?
Al, the paper boy.
Ah, he dipped a while ago. You know, it's like y'all my niggas, but y'all ain't my niggas. I mean, it's like I know y'all, but I don't know y'all, man.
Where's my jacket?
People just tearing up shit. Somebody pour a beer in my Brita picture. I mean, it's like, I fuck with y'all, but I don't fuck with y'all, man.
It's like a blue bomber jacket. Have you seen it?
Nah, but I did see where somebody tried to light my trash can on fire.
What?
Yeah, it's all burnt up on the inside. I mean, I was gonna get another one anyway, but that's besides the point. I mean, it's like, we boys, but...
Well, we ain't boys, yeah, I get it. Have you seen it? It's got a patch on it, you know?
And now that it's over, I'll never be sober. I couldn't believe, and now I'm so high. And now I'm so high.
And what is happening, everybody? It is your boy Blake Money Blakeweather. Welcome to another episode, Unfiltered Bachelor. This is the breakdown series for Atlanta. We are on episode 10. And as usual, I am joined, as always, by your favorite or not, your guy on the fly or not, maybe your neighbor with the flavor, or maybe you don't even live anywhere near this man. It's Jeff. What's up, Jeff?
How's it going, bud?
I'm chilling, staying corona free. How's
your quarantine? How's your Rona?
Look, I got my little quarantini. And so because this is the season finale, the season finale of like fucking, obviously me and Jeff love this show. I decided to bring on a special guest, somebody else that I know loves the show. It is my boy and y'all's new favorite, my boy Terry. Terry, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, Blake, thanks for having me on the show. Been listening for a while. Gotta say, when I first saw you post this, I was like, he has to ask me to be on this show. He has to do it soon. He has no other black people on this show. He has to include me. So,
for the record,
thank you for this
invite. We are very white.
Hey! I'm only partial. Listen. But yeah, man, Terry, yeah, I had to get you on here. I'm so glad I did. I want to let you know you are our first black guest for this black show, so this is great. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah. Small victories. That's how we win every day. We do a little bit better every time.
Atlanta's a show about bringing people together.
Represent.
Yeah, we're about bringing people together on this show. I think that's what Gambino's spirit is for the show. But I'm glad I reached out. Terry, you know what we do at the beginning of every episode. We do this thing where we point out our top 3 things, either this like was our favorite or that we noticed or like just kind of whatever from takeaways from the show. Since you are our guest on this very special episode, I want you to kick us off, man. What were your 3 takeaways from this episode, man?
Okay.
I know you got notes.
I'll start with number one. I did bring notes. I wanted to be super serious about this.
Dude, he's so much more prepared than your co-anchor here.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck that other guy.
Was just when the music cues at the beginning, it's Broccoli by Dram, and the lyric that you hear is "Touch my gang, and we're gonna turn the shit to Columbine." Which literally foreshadows what is happening, what's going to happen later in the episode itself.
Oh, shit. That's facts on facts.
Notice that.
Boy, Terry coming correct.
And there's a lot more musical connections that he keeps making as the episode progresses. But then number 2, I found this one really funny. When Paperboy finally pays Earn. As Earn's walking away, he hides his money in his shoe.
Yeah.
He knows the neighborhood that he's walking through. He knows what's going to happen. He puts that money in his shoe. Very smart. He knows what's up. He's not fronting about what can happen to him on his way home.
For sure. And number 3.
And number 3, just a good Darius moment is when Ern's making his Uber phone call. The conversation that Darius and Paperboy are having are about sunflower seeds. They're talking about
they're only 75 cents a pack, man.
And then like the flavors of them. And he goes on about sushi sunflower seeds, and I'm almost curious, like, is that a real thing? Could that be real? Because I'm sitting here, I got some Lay's potato chips that are like crab meat flavored, so I was like, well, that might be real. I might want to fuck with that.
I'm not even mad at that. I'm not even mad. Jeff, what is your 3, man? Can you beat that 3? That's a fucking solid 3 for a guest.
I mean, I doubt I can. So my first was the callbacks. The first callback being at the end of the episode, we see Van and Ern sitting there and being all lovey-dovey and cute and shit. And this time she says to him, "I hate you." And he goes, "I know." So that's a callback to the first episode. Do you love me? Of course. And then 2, at the so Terry, like you pointed out, him putting his money in the shoe. At first that kept throwing me because this entire episode he's looking for something, and I'm like, well, it can't be money. Ern's smart enough to not just keep his money in a fucking coat pocket when he's passing it out. But at the end of the episode, after he's given the money to Van, he pulls 2 hundos out of his shoe. And if you remember the first episode, when he goes to give that guy the money so that he can get Paperboy on the radio, his money was in his shoe.
Damn.
So I just thought that was a fun callback. So that was the first one.
That's a good callback.
The second one, I mean, dude, I just fucking love Darius so much in this episode. The part you pointed out was great, but then also Darius freaking out because he thinks the phone camera is going to steal his soul.
On the Snapchat?
Yep.
And I think that's a callback to when they finally say, you know, Darius is Nigerian.
Oh, yeah.
That is an African thing, that they don't like cameras for that very reason. So he's proven, like, I'm Nigerian.
And like the first time that I don't know what you call the conquistadors of Africa, just the what are they called?
Non-Africans.
The colonists. So like when the people would go there to colonize, and they would take pictures of the of Africans, and I think even some Native American. I'm sorry, some American Indian tribes. I've learned lately that's what you should call them. That they actually did think their souls got stolen with the picture. So I thought that was a fun thing to point out, and that's just such a Darius thing too. And then the third one, this one was just weird to me. When the dude gets shot at the end, how just kind of they're all just they're not freaking out as much as you would think, you know? I mean, yeah, like they're like, oh shit, when he gets shot, but then literally right after, they're all just hanging out. Ern goes up to the police officer and asks him to check the pocket.
Like, that man just died. That's a dead man right there. But can you check his pockets for me, though?
Yeah. Like there's a hidden pocket inside the pocket. But it was also crazy because it's like, man, what kind of world do they live in that I just don't understand? Where this isn't a big freak out moment. This is just like hey, but seriously, can you still check the pocket? You know?
Yeah,
I thought that was cool.
They were so kind of blasé to the moment, like, and it's just kind of like, okay, like somebody died, like, moving on.
Yeah.
And in fact, moving on, it is my turn. And I got a nice little list here. So I want to say once and for all the shit that we've seen Ern every fucking episode, this motherfucker got paid. He got some real fucking Paperboy money. Let's give it up one time for the one time.
He got paid.
Man, finally got paid. He's taking so much shit from Van, being like, Paperboy ain't gonna pay you. She even told Paperboy he wasn't gonna pay him. This motherfucker finally gets paid, and I couldn't have been more happier when that moment happened, man.
See, but that's an interesting point too, because I mean, I think we can all agree, Paperboy's paying him from his drug money. That's not rap money. That's not money that Ern
definitely,
you know?
Definitely.
And I think that's such an interesting point that Ern is that. And I think if they weren't family, that Al wouldn't have given that fucking money.
No.
But
But like, yeah, I mean, he's He did.
Earned didn't earn. Yeah,
he has earned like some of it. Like I think like there are some things that he's ate a lot of shit. You know, Paperboy didn't get him out of jail. Paperboy didn't even wake him up when they left the party, man. When they set the trash can on fire.
That was that's a quote from the episode, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like you have to understand. Like
here we go. We got to bail him out again.
Yeah,
you didn't
even
literally bail me out when I was in jail.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. So like, I think Earn has earned it. Like he, helped him make money. Even if what's his name had to fucking get heavy on the promoter in the club, like fucking Earn has got his music on the radio. He's whether he's earned that much money or not, he's definitely earned something. So Earn is finally living up to his name, so to speak, in that sense, and making his money. 2, do you notice how attuned, again, I think me and you talked about this, Jeff, a few episodes, but like how attuned Paperboy is to the streets of like when they're on the block and he's just like, oh, yeah, some ain't right.
He could tell.
He's got so much
his street senses kick in. It's like his supernatural power of trouble in the hood, and he knew there was trouble in the hood.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
The way he knew there was trouble was it's a nice day out, and there's no one on the fucking street. Not even like a kid running around with a ball. I think that was what just tipped him off to it, you know?
I mean, he's just street smart, bro. Like, Earn is book smart. We see Paperboy's. He is street smart. Like we saw it a few episodes ago in the club. Yeah, we see hints of it every now and then. Like again, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Amongst him and Earn, like when they went to jail, he got out first. He got off on a quote unquote murder charge. Nobody was murdered, but like he didn't get fouled with a gun. Like he is so street smart, man. He's so slick and sly. And as we see, like we're not on season 2 yet, but like you see him even as a young kid, like, he does some shit that I'm not even gonna get into now. And then the third thing is I kind of alluded to from my point 1, Earn is finally earning his way in the world, man. He is, we see Earn earning his place. He's earning his, good faith with Paperboy. He's earning his relationship with Van. She even calls him a good dad in this episode, man. That's a far stretch from where we were in episode, was it like 3 when he took her out for a date and she's like, you're a, deadbeat or whatever. Like, yeah, it's a far fucking stretch from where he's come from. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. And I think that the end of this episode's kind of supposed to be. So I think this episode is a bit of a callback to episode 1, but also I think it's supposed to be the opposite. Because I think at the end of episode 1, he's about to text Van, tell her he loves her, and then he gets the call from Paperboy. And instead of going with Van and Lottie, he goes the Paperboy route. And this one, Paperboy gives him the money, and they're hanging outside the house. And Darius just goes, I just ate them 2 joints before the cops got here. Tonight's gonna be weird.
It's a good moment.
And Paperboy goes, hey, man, so you coming inside or what? And this time, instead of going the Paperboy route, Earn goes, no, I'm going to go hang with Van and Lottie tonight. So I think that was a bit of I think it was supposed to be that, too, that whereas in the beginning of the show, at least as this season, he chooses the Paperboy route. Right. That to end the season, he chooses the Van and Lottie route.
Yeah. That's facts on facts right there, man. I love that. It's a very cool contrast to how we're introduced to Earn and how we're introduced to his world as opposed to the first episode. Another thing I want to point out, I did look this up because like there is no trivia on IMDb. Jeff, do you have, first of all, before
what the hell?
I get into my own trivia real quick, and it's just like 1 bit. Do you have the IMDb score for this episode?
I will in 8.3 seconds.
Okay, perfect. While you look that up, I'm going to throw my trivia out there while you're looking that up. Check this out. So, obviously, we all know Chick-fil-A has, their giveaway where they give away Sandwich Day. Man, so I went ahead and nerded out, and I went ahead and looked up when Chick-fil-A's Sandwich Day was in 2016.
I was gonna talk about this one actually. I don't know. I've known you've seen the pictures before, but I love Chick-fil-A Day. My record for Chick-fil-A Day in the Austin area is 9 Chick-fil-A's in a row. I start that morning, I go all the way up to Round Rock, and then I work my way south back home to New Braunfels. I love Chick-fil-A Day. And I
Is
hate
the
Chick-fil-A,
deal
though. I hate Chick-fil-A as a company.
cow-related or cow-related?
Yeah, you have to dress like a cow and you get a free compliment.
So,
Now, I personally hate this company, but a free meal is a free meal. And
I looked up.
It's like back home, no one really liked Chipotle, but there was one day where if you brought in a can of food for a food drive, you got a free burrito, and everyone's like, "Well, we're getting Chipotle today."
It is that. And so I like the timing of it because he's fucking basically hungover. Two, I was such a nerd. I looked up what day this happened in 2016. This was Tuesday, July 12th. On that day, customers who show their spots will receive a free entree at Chick-fil-A, more than 2,000 restaurants worldwide. Obviously, he didn't get it. He didn't have a fucking cow uniform on, but they were giving away a free sandwich. So we can only assume that it was July 12th that this day happened in the universe of Atlanta. What was the score on this, Jeff, real quick?
8.6. That makes it tied with episode 2, Streets on Lock, for the third highest rated episode.
Oh, those are
number
good.
1 is BAN, BAN, and number 2 is The Club.
Oh, yeah, those are both great. Fucking great.
Yep.
All right, small takeaways. Anything else like noticeable before we get into maybe like some themes real quick? Like any small like funny bits?
So, funny bits are just Darius in general. Like I said, when he does, tonight's gonna get weird. I was just like, yes.
Terry, you got a big ass notepad. I want to hear from you real quick.
Yeah, man.
Well, just on that point of Darius, just some stoner facts. eating the 2 blunts would not actually get you high. Darius would be fine. So for our listeners out there, if you get pulled over and you had to eat it, it's not going to affect you.
Wow.
You'd be good. Good.
Holy shit. Interesting. Wow. We need to make our own fucking trivia for IMDb. IMDb, hire us. God damn it.
Hey.
We got our own fucking trivia for
Not
y'all.
even hire us. It's be first to add trivia, man. You can click on it and add it if you want.
Nah, they need to hire me.
So what do you guys think was the point of Ern staying in the storage unit,
bro?
Instead of staying with Van and Lottie?
Do you know how cheap that is? I used to know people like that would live like in and out of storage units, bro.
But I mean, he doesn't need to. He's got places to stay. He had 2 options tonight. And instead he takes a storage unit.
It's not about. That's what I'm saying. Like it's like my third point all comes back to Ern coming into his own. Him showing like he can stand on his own 2 feet. He don't need his parents.
Right.
Like even though it's a little fucking $99 a month storage unit, bro, where you're not supposed to live. He's still on his own. Like he's got.
It's his.
Yeah, it's his. He's got $200. I mean,
see, here's this. Let me throw this one at you using your trivia, Blake. This was June 12th or July 12th or June 12th?
July 12th.
Yeah, it must have been July. It's after the Juneteenth episode. Bro, he's wearing a sweater in a storage unit with no fan or AC on in July in Atlanta. How does he not have heat stroke by the morning?
Didn't he have a fan at the end of the episode?
He's got a fan, but it's not on.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think it was on. It was there. I don't think it was on.
Okay, I don't know, man. Maybe he runs cold.
That's honestly
like a
what
vampire.
I've always wondered when people stay in storage units. I've always just been like, man, how do you not just like sweat your nuts off?
And maybe he do, and he goes to Van in the morning to take a shower, or Paperboy in the morning to take a shower. Like, but that's his place. Like that's the thing. It's his place. It don't matter, bro. Like, I don't know. I don't know how they survive. But they do it, goddammit, and Ern is proving like we've never known. The thing is, we've never known where Ern lives, or like we think
that is important.
Yeah, we think he's semi-homeless, like he's sleeping on the streets, and it's like
you don't know.
Not quite.
So, do you guys think he had this place the entire time?
Yes.
And this is just the first time we see it?
Yes.
Or do you think he's kind of just started doing this?
No.
Why do you think it's? Well, we never see his change of clothes. We never see where he keeps his clothes or anything. So, but he's not wearing the same clothes every episode.
Right.
I think maybe he just started it because in the first episode, I feel like Van was kicking him out that first episode, saying you need to start paying if you're going to start living there. You do definitely get the feel of
that. That's true.
So I feel like maybe he was living with Van, and then later on, you see him crash with another girl because Van picks him up on the Juneteenth episode.
It's because he's
But
homeless.
yeah,
real happy
you never
about that,
see
too.
where he stays at besides that.
It's,
This is not
it's,
the first time you see where he lives at.
it's implied that he stays with Paperboy a lot. Because even Paper was like, "You're not staying here tonight."
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I think he's had the storage unit. Like that shit looks like it's been there. Like he didn't just move it. You know, he doesn't have money for a fucking U-Haul and shit like that. Like I think he's had that place. I think that's his fallback. I think in the beginning of this season, and I don't want to get into it because we're going to do a season recap. I don't want to get into too heavy, but I think in the beginning of the season, like it shows him more dependent on people, and now in this episode he's less dependent on people and just more like owning who he is, and I think that's fucking beautiful. You know what I mean? He doesn't need anybody, and I think that's I think that's also to get so like as we cut it right before we cut into the themes. I think that is a theme of this. One of my funny bits was for anybody that knows Ja Rule, when they did that Ja Rule Snapchat and they were just barking like dogs, and he's like, "Let me find out Ja Rule's really a dog." I died on that. I died on that part.
Tell you what, if you went to Firefest, you might think he is really a fucking dog.
Oh, low blow, right? Ooh, right in the fucking good does right there.
No, there's no low blow against Ja Rule after what he fucking did out there, man.
Oh man, where would he be without his baby? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Where would he be without his baby? Somebody put it on him. But that's just my small tidbit before we get into the theme. Any other small tidbits before we get into maybe like theme? Like I really want to focus on themes. I feel like every episode has a fucking like thematic like undertone of like something we need to be taking away from this.
I love the security guard at the strip club. I love without the second the door opens when Ern's walking out, he just goes, "Told you." Doesn't even look up
Little
his phone.
shithead. Little shithead. Anything from you, Terry?
I have to kind of come to the defense of the bouncer, just because I know that the lost and found is usually kept right in front of the door so they can easily peep inside and see what's there. So him doing that little cheap look, I was like, that's probably where the lost and found is. And him disappearing for like that. So I was like, he probably just went behind the door where the lost and found was and he checked.
Fair play.
I actually really
told
liked it
him.
because the thing is, the
He
dude
told
didn't
him.
need to even give Ern the time of day. Like, he's doing a job. He's got one job. So, like, if he didn't want to fucking talk to Ern, he doesn't even fucking need to. I really liked the door guy there. I just love
I'm not mad at
love
it.
that when Ern's walking out.
I love the it's like I know y'all, but I don't really know y'all. It's like we
But
cool,
I don't know y'all.
but we ain't cool.
We ain't.
It's like I fuck
know,
with
it's like
y'all,
we
but I don't fuck with
boys.
y'all.
And doesn't that isn't that our Facebook culture though? Like
Yes.
everyone we see on social media, that's how I feel about a lot of people. Is like I know them, but I don't know them. I see what they're doing, but I don't care what they're doing.
Terry,
I like your status.
if
but
they came to
I
your
don't
house,
like you.
Terry, if they came to your house and y'all done put beer in my Brita filter, if they done light your trash can on fire, you're gonna buy a new one anyway.
That's brilliant.
Dude, that whole fucking
Okay. He's talking about the trash can. Did you see the background?
yes, it's
The
on,
entire goddamn wall.
it's on fire.
Who gives a shit about the trash can? Mention the wall, dude.
And he's surprisingly cool about it too. He's not that mad.
No.
It's just kind of like, get out. My girl's hungry. She's mad. She's hangry. My girl's hangry. You hear her.
That
Please
look-
just leave now so we can get food.
Well, it's so funny because I've been that guy
Uh-huh.
who, like, during college, it's been like, all right, bro, get up and get out of my fucking house. Like, yeah, we had a party last night, but it's time for you to go. But I've also absolutely been Ern where I just wake up like, what's going on and where the hell am I?
Dude, that look that he gives once the girl's like, I'm hungry, I'm about to die or whatever, and like the dude's like, and then that look that fucking Ern gives him, just like, I understand, like I got you, like play on player, you know what I'm talking about, Terry, you know what I'm saying, play on player, like
I
head,
understood
the
that.
head nod,
You need to go now.
yeah, the head nod, like I got you, man. But yeah, you know what? In all fairness, I didn't look at the small detail of the trash can up until today. Like I didn't notice the background was on fire at one point. Like it was blacked out. I did not notice that.
It's like it went up to a light switch. Like in all realness, there's a chance that like they fucked with his electrical, man.
Oh yeah, that shit's fucked, dude.
And that wasn't even like a guy being a dick and trying to actually light the garbage can on fire. When Darius and Paperboy are talking at the couch later on, they mentioned some random girl threw a lit blunt in there. Then that's what did it.
That's what did it, yes. Always remember that. Before you toss your blunts in the trash can, please put them out, especially if you're at somebody else's house.
They already fucked up the Brita filter. Toss it in there.
Beer in a Brita filter. I mean, that's kind of genius. That's kind of low-key genius. Okay. Let's get to the themes real quick as we start to round this whole episode out in like a full kind of spectrum picture. Terry, I feel like you've watched this probably more so in the last few hours than you have in the last few years. Any themes that stick out to you? For me, I've got a few. I've got like one or two, but like any themes that stick out to you where this episode's like screaming like, hey, pay attention to this, or here's the message of this. Because I feel like Donald always like puts them in there.
I think it's the reveal of where you finally see where Ern's been sleeping. Mm-hmm. You know, most of these episodes are always talking about, let's go stunting. We need to stunt on people. And, you know, stunting is always flossing your money, showing off. And we don't know how Ern's living. And then right when you see, oh, he's living in a storage unit?
Right.
Oh, he's fronting. He went from stunting to
front to front.
And that is the big reveal for me of the season. Yeah. It's like, man, he's been fronting this whole time.
I like that. I like that a lot. And it's not hard to tell, like, when you put the pieces together. We'll get into it on the series thing, but all I'm going to say is it's not hard to tell once you put the pieces together. Jeff, any thematic takeaways?
I'll get to that in 1 second.
Okay.
Compounding on what you just said, Terry, on the stunning and everything, another point when they're at the couch, you hear Darius in the background say, talking about stunning and why they should keep. So they're like, we should keep stunning and everything. And Ern's like, maybe we should make some more money before we start doing that.
What's that quote that
and
he
Darius
says?
That's exactly what I got pulled up.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, man.
I was going to say the quote unless you
Go for it. You're the guest,
you brought
man.
the point up. You do it.
I think if we spent the time we spent thinking about not spending money, spent that time on spending money, then I'd be time well spent. And for me, that's kind of reminiscent of those, Doug quotes like no matter where you go, there you are. It's just the no shit quote. I'm like, that's not that deep, but maybe it is deep.
Well, I think it's funny because it also kind of points out the three different people we got here. We got Paperboy, who does like stunting, and like you pointed out, Ern, as we find out in this episode, he's been fronting. But Darius is always even keel. He's just always getting by, and he's always fine. Mm-hmm. And I think that kind of points out how all three of them are. And I think that's really interesting. I mean, Darius is our goddamn shaman of the series. I love him.
Mm-hmm. Series shaman.
And yeah, I think one of the themes is, as you point out, that while they're all talking about stunning and everything, that Ern has just been, living the way he has. But I think it's also, I think one of the things I pointed out in the first episode was that Ern's looking for redemption. And I think this episode, with him finally being able to give Van some money and then go and live on his own, I think that was a note of him, finally getting that redemption just a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I like that. I also want to throw a side note in here. As you were talking, but obviously the episode's going on in the background. You know how Ern kept saying two episodes ago he hates taking shots? He hates them so much. He took a shot of Hennessy, and then the next Snapchat is him like spitting it out. Ern, I just want to say, Ern hates shots.
Ern hates shots. Takes it straight from the goddamn bottle too.
Yeah, it was insane, and it's Hennessy too. Remember Hennessy? Shout outs to the last episode, Juneteenth. Shout out to the last episode. Well, shout out to the last episode that's what the husband poured. That's what Craig poured fucking Craig, fucking Craig. He poured up Ern when they were in the study. When Ern goes, is this Hennessy?
When he clearly thought it was going to be scotch, too.
Right, scotch or whiskey or something.
You know what? I also think in the club episode, I think that's what he was doing shots of. When the cute bartender kept topping him off, I think it was a bottle of Hennessy she was using.
I need to rewatch it. Everybody rewatch it. Let's come back.
I think I played that episode. I think it might have been Hennessy also.
I'm not even mad at that. That's what it is.
If I remember correctly, the bottle was like more bulbous that she grabbed, and he was doing Lefroy, which is a skinnier Scotch bottle.
I got some bulbous. But yeah. Good point out. All right, so I got a few themes of this episode, and I think we touched on one of them, so that'll be my second point. The first one I want to bring up is the cops in this episode, right? Like, that's important in this episode, is the whole the thematic thing of the cops. Like, how they just all of a sudden, like, bum rushed fucking their car. They're really doing nothing except trying to drive away from the street. And they're like, do you know Mr. Arroyo? You know what I mean? Like, all this shit, like, bum rushing him. And then the fact that they shot. They didn't even, like, tase. They didn't even chase down. They done shot a motherfucker.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? They killed the motherfucker. And it probably wasn't, like, the best side of town either. You know what I mean? Like, I think that highlighted that, like, that kind of thematic thing of, like, what happens and, like, not Westlake or not fancy parts of town, you know what I mean? Like, shit like this happens. Mm-hmm. And it's just so away.
Dude.
And it's so throwaway, and like, and then they just move on like nothing happens. Cops move on like nothing happens. Like, even, you know, Paperboy, Darius, Ern, they move on like really like nothing happened. They were there for one thing and then they're gone. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yep.
I don't know. It's so brush away. It's so blasé, the whole thing. But the cops are a large part of it, and I think it's really crazy. Terry, you gonna say something?
It's just like I pointed out earlier, as the song said, they turned it into Columbine.
Yep.
You know, they just unloaded and was just shooting up.
That's a call. We call that a callback.
Tell us.
We call that a callback in the industry. I just call back to Terry's point. Look at that. Look at me. Like I'm a podcast host and shit. Look at that.
Well, and in case someone wants to try and make some argument, like, well, he was running. There used to be a law like you could, you know, fire a warning shot, or if someone's running, you could fire at them because you're assuming they're dangerous. That has been illegal in America in general since like the mid 90s. So like that's not even a thing. Like, and you could clearly see there was nothing in his hands or anything. So it was just another unarmed man getting shot down by the police.
Right.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but was this guy Middle Eastern?
I feel like
his name was Fidel.
Fidel?
Yeah, it was Fidel. So
you talking about?
Yes,
I don't know. What do they call him? F Money? Were you talking about F Money?
F Money?
Fidel. His name was Fidel Arroyo. His last name was Arroyo.
Okay.
I'm wondering where, like, with Fidel, I think Middle Eastern. With Middle Eastern, I think like other cops being like, "Oh, terrorism, kill." No. Like, I mean,
he kind of had curly hair. Know. He kind of got curly hair, but it could have been like South American. Yeah, Fidel Arroyo. Like that sounds like.
Bro, I got curly hair.
That sounds like, but it sounds Latino to me, bro. It sounds like Fidel Arroyo. It sounds like Latino to me. I don't sound like no Middle Eastern. I know. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Like I you know.
Easterns, you know.
Don't
Easterners.
Hey, don't ask. You know what I'm saying? Mind your business. Mind your business. Mind your business. But yeah, man. So I think that's one of the themes is the cop element, and I think the second theme is really everything we've been touching on. It's earn. Like this is where he earns his way in the world. He is doing everything I think as right as he knows how in this episode, and he's getting little rewards. It's like a video game. He's getting little rewards along the way. One, he gets a free goddamn chicken sandwich. Well, for even in the beginning. Two, he don't catch an ass whipping from the dude who's like fucking, like, you know what I'm saying, house it is. Like that dude could have been like, we squaring up, like fuck you and your homies. Like he was just like more or less kind of chill, just like, man, like I know who y'all, like Terry, like if your Facebook friends came over to your house, it's like you know him. But you don't really know him, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't really know him like that.
So he avoided ass whipping, gets a free chicken sandwich. He was able to kind of retrace his steps and figure out kind of, okay, yeah, we were at this place and we did this, that, and the other thing. Even Paperboy helps him to go and try to retrieve his jacket. And then so much so, but by the end of the episode, like he gets money, you know what I mean, from Paperboy.
He gets a girl's number.
Oh, that's right, that Scripper. The Scripper. But you better call her back. You better call her back.
She probably just wants to be famous and in the video, but
right, you better call her back.
He got a number.
and then he you know what? Like the crazy thing is the fallback of like he doesn't want to stay with Paperboy. He'd rather stay with Van at this point in his life, if it came down to it. Then when Swift comes and drops off his key, he'd rather be by himself than be with Van. Like it's this whole growth of like he just wants.
By the way,
I think he just wants to be more and more independent.
Well, how about Swift trying to like see if he can get in with Van to earn who's there with Van?
Hey Jeff, do you think that'd be weird?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think it'd be a little weird. Hey, also, how about this one? Because it's this for me. It's this point in the episode. How about when they go to Fidel's to get the shit? How lucky are they that they didn't have any guns on them this time?
Or like they didn't have. Well, I was gonna say no narcotics, but I'm like Darius ate that shit.
Two blunts for a bit.
No, and
technically afterwards, Darius still had them.
And the other lucky thing too. Again, this is a lot of like payoff for Ern. Motherfucker, Senator K calls him and wants to go on tour. He wants him to go on tour. Like, there's all these little things that like Ern kind of gets. This is Ern's blessing episode, man. Low key, like. From top to fucking bottom, this is earning his way in the world and trying to do the best I think he can.
You know, I don't want to get into it too much because we're about to do the whole season recap.
Right.
But it's the pendulum swinging the other way, man. It's the pendulum coming back from the other side.
Yeah. From the start of the season, from the
episode 1. Yeah,
Terry,
man.
what is that saying? We started from where? Now we're where?
We started from the bottom, and now we're here.
I think that says this episode best. Before we end this, hop onto the season recap. Anything else I missed? Anything anybody would like to bring up?
Just there was a couple more music notes that blow in my mind. Later in the episode, when we notice when Ern's having dinner with Van, in the background, Erykah Badu's Other Side of the Game is playing. And that song is about a woman who's like telling how she's cool and how she has to deal with her boyfriend being a drug dealer. And right after they're eating dinner and that song plays,
that's when he gives her money.
Like, where'd you get this money? Are you dealing drugs?
Dude, I love how we messed with Van on that too.
So it's like the song sets you up for that question to be asked by Van.
No, it totally does.
And just some random trivia. In the video for Erykah Badu, this was when she was dating Andre 3000.
Oh, shit.
And he's in that video with her. And the next song they play that they end out is, of course,
Outkast.
Elevators, me and you. And I was like, well, that's
me and you.
That they did Outkast in the video, and then Outkast is, Andre 3000's song.
And Ern is kind of an outcast at this point.
Right. And that song's like basically about how they started and everything, from the bottom, and how they like their ways.
It's about their way up, just
like how
like an elevator. Yeah, like an elevator. Yep. Man, what a great thing to bring up. But I also love that. I love Outkast, and I love that song. I love the whole Dungeon Family shit. Yeah, look at Terry coming. I'm scared to see what he's gonna do with the season recap.
Like,
man,
why the fuck you wait so long to bring him in, Dick? Anyway,
man, fuck you and fuck Terry. I'll cut this shit off real quick. I'll talk to the goddamn mic myself. No, I'm just kidding.
Here's a question I got for you.
Okay.
So I'm not positive on this one, but is this the first time we've seen the couch in the field since the first episode?
Yes. I feel like probably yes.
So just another callback from, episode 1 to the last one.
Yeah, I think so, because in season 2, you see it a whole lot more.
A whole lot more, yeah.
Big theme season 2.
A whole lot more. Yeah, well, this episode and remember, let's just set our time clocks a little bit backwards. and pretend like season 2 doesn't exist. This is the ending of season 1, and if they were to never make a season 2 and this was just one season, it still wraps up the series nicely. If it were to end here, it didn't, but it still wraps up a season and it wraps up a series, and that's it's just a fucking incredible episode.
A lot of TV shows need to do that better, like this one does, where you can still keep the story going, but if for some reason you don't, like each season is supposed to be like its own chapter in a book, or even just like its own book in a series. And the thing is, like it shouldn't be cliffhanger after cliffhanger after cliffhanger. It should be like this, where you told your story. Maybe we'll get to the next one. Maybe we won't.
Right. That would be like an arc. You see that in just animated shows, animes.
Yeah.
They do arcs where they take those characters, they do something, they have like a goal from season 1, and at the end of the season, that goal is done. That's it. You can say they lived happily ever after, or if you want, you can just give them a new goal for the next season and see what they do. And that, exactly. Shows need to just stay on that format, because once you get past 7 seasons, you get tired of it.
A recent show did that pretty well was Watchmen on HBO. And come to find out, it is just going to be that one season, but it was just that one story kept all together. They can very easily do a season 2 off it, but they don't need to. And I gotta get behind that.
I thought you were gonna say Dave, because Dave did that. We talked about this last week. Phenomenally well.
Absolutely. But I'm saving that for my
our recap.
Dave season recap talk.
That's right. Well, Terry, man, thank you for coming on, dropping some bombs over Baghdad. Another Outcast reference. What's up, baby?
Thank you for having me, man. It was great to be here.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, let people know if they want to follow you on social media, anything like that, or anything you do. I know you do your cooking show here and there, but like blast out anything. Take over my show real quick before we sign off real quick, man.
If people want to follow me on Facebook, it would be Ballin on a Budget, and that's if you're in the Austin, Dallas, and now Denver area. We post free events, just free food. Examples would be Chick-fil-A Day. We'll remind you when that is. But just every single day, free shows, free movies, free alcohol. If it's for free, we'll find it in your city, and we'll let you know about it.
I love it. Thank you so much. Hey, Jeff, where can people find you if they want to talk shit to you and like throw shit at your wall and shit?
They can either find me on Facebook. They can try Skyping Don Cheadle's driveway at littledickie2.com. Or, at least for a little bit longer, they can find me in public and stand 6 feet away with a mask on.
For sure. I love it. Everybody go follow Unfiltered Bachelor. iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher. Click like, share it, review it, tell your friend to tell their friends, and we can all be friends, especially if they're fans of Atlanta, if they're fans of Lil Dicky, or if they're fans of dating and relationships and want to hear some of those episodes. Feel free to scroll through the episodes. If you want to follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, it's all Unfiltered Bachelor. If you want to follow me because for some reason you love my voice, maybe I said something funny, I don't know what the case might be, Money Blakeweather, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. Thank y'all, everybody, for tuning in. I love y'all. Hope y'all are staying safe. And whether it's morning, evening, or afternoon, whatever time you're listening to this, I hope you are staying great, staying healthy. Big kisses to you. And until the next time, we'll see you. Peace.
Girl, what's your problem? 'Cause I know it's hard sometimes. Baby, just give me some time. Ooh, on and out, girl. We can solve them. If you just give me some time, I can open up your